The Lord be with you. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Please join me in prayer. Lord, we thank you so much for this time together when we can hear your word, and we just ask you to open our ears and our hearts and our eyes to learn what you would teach us. In Jesus' name, amen. Our story today is number 38, Paul and Lydia, published by Baker Books and copyrighted by Godly Play. Today we're in the season of Pentecost. It's the time when we think more and more about people believing in Jesus. Paul was a follower of Jesus. Paul traveled all over and told people the good news about Jesus. He went from city to city, teaching and preaching and telling people all the wonderful things that Jesus said and did. One time, as Paul was going from city to city, he came to a city called Troas. It was a seaport city, built on the seaside. While he was there, Paul wondered where he should go next to tell others about Jesus. Should he go north? Should he go south? Should he go west, crossing over the water to the city of Philippi? One night, as Paul slept, he had a vision. In his vision or dream, he saw a man across the water pleading with him. "Come over here and help us." Now Paul knew which way to go. He must cross the water and go to Philippi. The vision meant that God was sending him to the people in Philippi to preach and teach about Jesus. Philippi was a large city where many people lived. There were many business people there, many soldiers, but no Christians. Some of the people who lived there believed in God, but they did not know about Jesus. The people of Philippi who believed in God would gather at the river outside of the city for prayer meetings. Each Sabbath, these few believers would come together to pray to God. One of the believers was a woman named Lydia. Lydia was a businesswoman. She sold fine purple cloth to the people of Philippi. On the first Sabbath that Paul was in Philippi, he went to the riverside to join the others in prayer. There was a group of people he could tell about Jesus. Paul told them all about God sending Jesus into the world. He told how Jesus taught the people to love God and love each other. Paul told them about the amazing things Jesus had said and done. Paul told them about Jesus dying on the cross and that God had raised Jesus from the dead and made him alive again. Lydia listened carefully to Paul. She believed in Jesus and asked him to come live in her heart. Her family also believed in Jesus. She asked Paul to baptize her and her whole family. So Paul baptized Lydia and her whole family. Lydia was so happy to believe in Jesus. She was so happy that Paul had come to her town to tell her and others about Jesus. "Please stay at my house," she said to Paul. "Please stay with me while you are in my town." Paul decided to stay with Lydia, and he was able to tell many more people in Philippi about Jesus. Many more people believed in Jesus and were baptized. I wonder how it felt for Paul to go from city to city, telling people about Jesus. I wonder how Paul knew the people gathered at the riverside for prayer. I wonder how the people at the riverside felt when Paul joined them. I wonder how many people were baptized at the river by Paul. What do you wonder about? You can talk about that with your family. In the book of Acts, chapter 16, we hear, "From Troas we put out to sea and sailed straight for Samothrace, and the next day we went on to Neapolis. From there we traveled to Philippi, a Roman colony, and the leading city of that district of Macedonia. And there we stayed several days. On the Sabbath we went outside the city gate to the river, where we expected to find a place of prayer. We sat down and began to speak to the women who had gathered there. One of those listening was a woman from the city of Thyatira, named Lydia, a dealer in purple cloth. She was a worshiper of God. The Lord opened her heart to respond to Paul's message. When she and the members of her household were baptized, she invited us to her home. 'If you consider me a believer in the Lord,' she said, 'come and stay at my house.' And she persuaded us." Please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who have sinned against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.